Alright everyone, welcome to today's charting session. Sa mga hindi pa po nakakaalam, what we do here is we typically look at either yung mga trending names, meaning sila po yung mga pangalan na malaki yung ginalaw, whether to the upside or to the downside, or perhaps malaki yung value traded, or generally speaking, mas minamatahan lang po ng mga tao, no? Also, tumatanggap din po tayo ng mga chart requests. So kapag meron po kayong mga requests, please feel free to let me know in the comments section below. Now, tapos na naman ang isang linggo dahil holiday po tayo bukas. So I hope you have good plans para magkaroon kayo ng restful and refreshing weekend, no? The market this week was a little confusing in some parts, good in some parts, but overall parang hindi pa rin desidido yung market, lalo na parang war is brewing with the whole Russia and Ukraine thing. So let's see how things unfold as we go along, no? Now, for this session, we'll start off with LTG. Now, tong LTG, kung titignan natin, ang nangyari was, diba, it came down here, tried to push higher, nagkaroon tayo ng parang rising wedge, broke below it, nagkonso sandali, diba, nag-form tayo ng support dito sa 9.5 na area. When we eventually broke beneath yung 9.5, we can see in these candles here na we tried to push back up pero ayaw. At dahil ayaw, we push lower once again, revisiting almost yung support natin at 9.03, no? So ano yung pwede nating tignan na mga potential scenarios dito sa LTG moving forward? The first is, if we can reclaim tong 9.51 cleanly, then maybe price will come back to yung previous range natin between 9.5 to 10.26. Okay? Pwede tayong bumalik dyan, and if mabasag natin yung 10.26 from there, then that opens up this range here na naiwan from before hanggang 10.86. However, kung kunwari nauntog tayo dito sa 9.5, hindi natin mabasag ulit, then we break to the downside, taking out 9 pesos in the process, then we might come back and revisit tong 8.5 na nag-form na support dito sa range na to. So, maaari na ang maging bagong range natin kung mangyari man yon is between 8.5 to 9 pesos, no? And if mabasag pa yung 8.5, then 8.10 yung next level of support. Okay? Overall, for me, it's not really looking great, tong LTG. There might be easier trades to be had sa market. I'm almost sure this isn't going to be one of them. I know, fundamentally speaking, people are still very high on LTG, undervalued and all that, but unfortunately, hindi pa sumasang-ayon yung market, no? Hindi pa sumasang-ayon yung price. So baka mas prudent to wait for a better opportunity dito, maybe in the near future or if not in the far future, before jumping in dito sa LTG. Next, tignan po natin yung SPNEC, no? So yung SPNEC, pwede na natin tingnan dito sa daily kasi kahit paano may nag-form na eh. Alright? Now, ano nga ba nangyari? We pushed higher, nag-form tayo ng resistance at around 2.34, nag-range tayo dito sandali between 1.98, lagyan na lang natin at 2 pesos hanggang 2.34, but once 2 pesos broke, diba? Same na naman, parang color by numbers, came back up, tested it, held, rolled over. So what are we watching for here? Number one, hindi pa rin natin na-fill altogether tong gap. So it's still possible na babalikan natin to, ma-fill natin yung gap, and from there, makahanap tayo ng possible reaction moving forward. Okay? Maaaring yung mangyari is something like this, baba to dyan, ganito, push lower, tag this gap, then we break above tong 2 pesos ulit para bumalik tayo sa range between 2 pesos and 2.34. However, kung mag-hold tong 2 pesos, okay, maaaring balikan natin tong previous resistance turned support dito sa 1.67. And if that doesn't hold, then we might go all the way back dito sa mga 1.5 na area. Okay? Bakit nagpo-pullback? Kasi ganun talaga eh. Diba? Essentially, while SPNEC is a great idea, no, overall, and I do believe in the business overall and all that, but still, wala pa siya eh. Diba? It's technically speaking, non-existent pa. Hindi pa siya nagagawa. It's still in the process. Kumbaga, linuluto pa. So, I fully expect na kahit na maganda lahat nung nangyayari, meron talaga tayong ups and downs as people take profit along the way. That's just because ganun talaga eh. It's how the market works. people always think na just because good things are happening or may bagong balita or something, kailangan magpupush to the upside. Diba? But that's not true. Okay? Paiba-iba talaga. Hindi po porket may magandang nangyari or may magandang event, ibig sabihin ay dapat to the moon na lagi. Minsan, rehash lang yung news. Minsan, it's just a different retelling of the same event and so on, no? So for now, yun yung binabantayan natin dito sa SPNEC. Will 1.67 hold? If it does, do we get reversal from there? If we do, I want to see a break above 2 pesos to jump back in, potentially, depending on how the structure looks like, should that happen. Otherwise, mabasag yan, then we might revisit 1.5, followed by 1.37. Next, tignan po natin yung dito, no? So, everyone's favorite. So, we were able to break out of this range here na paulit-ulit ko sinasabi before. We broke out of it, stayed above it briefly, only to find na makain siya and bumalik na naman tayo to the original area. So ano yung tinitingnan natin dito? If matibay itong dito, then dapat panandalian lang to. We maybe push back dito sa white zone, then we lift higher, potentially breaking above 7 to target 8 pesos next. Okay, so yun yung ideal na scenario if you're a dito bull. Ang ayaw nyong makita is mabasag tong 5.5 altogether. If mabasag tong 5.5, kaya mabasag yan, test underneath, hold, then it likely rolls over and babalikan natin yung support natin around 4.8. Babalik tayo sa original range natin. Tapos if mabasag yung 4.8, yung next support, yung nag-form dito na low, and if mabasag pa rin yan, di bago na namang against sakit ng ulo. Alright? Now, what do I think is gonna happen? Honestly, I don't know, no? Marami ako naririnig na different views from both bears and bulls dito sa dito. Ang pinakamasasabi ko lang is just be wary na you ensure na kung kunyari nakasakay ka man dito. Number 1, trail your stop accordingly. Huwag nang ipilit. Okay? Mas importanteng maprotektahan ang pera na kaysa na protektahan ng average na pwedeng maging bato pa. Okay? So, for me, just follow your discipline para kahit na anuman yung mangyari, mabuti man o masama, handa tayo. Hindi yung nabibigla tayo kapag may gawin yung market na hindi natin gusto. Alright? So, yun po yung tingin ko dito sa dito. Next, tignan natin yung MREIT. Now, I mentioned before na I really don't like charting tong mga REITs kasi I don't typically trade them. When I say trade them, as in yung actively trade them. Yes, you could invest and everything, but it's not something that I actively trade. Okay? But since marami na nag-request, let's go through it really quickly lang. As you can see, wala akong nakalagay na levels, no? Hindi ko talaga tinitrade. So, ano yung nangyari? Nag-consolidate tayo dito sa taas sandali. Okay? Tapos, we broke beneath itong support na nag-form sa area na to. So, that support was at around 21, 22 pesos, no? Nung nabasag yon, we tried to test it from underneath here. Hindi kinaya, we rolled over, and now we're consolidating in this area. This area na nagko-consolidate tayo ngayon, essentially, nasa loob nitong maliit na area of consolidation na to before. Diba yung mga bottoms niya, dito tayo nakahanap ng support. So, if we can hold here and if we can start pushing higher, then makikita natin na mabuo yung structure for a potential continuation nitong MREIT. However, right now, for me lang, it's still a little too early to tell. Okay? Parang wala pa ngang nabubuo, pangungunahan ko na kahit na basic scenario planning lang, mahirap sabihin. Masyadong maraming possible outcomes. We could always move up, mauntog ulit dito, tas roll over, breaking this new low, balikan tong area of consolidation before. Pwede rin na hindi na natin balikan yan, tumuloy lang yung breakdown. Again, babalikan tong area of consolidation before. Diba? Pwede naman na mag-break to the upside, hindi na huminto dito, tumuloy lang. So yun yung mga potential scenarios dito sa MREIT. However, uulitin ko, for me, personally, paniniwala ko na ang mga REITs hindi for short-term trades. If you intend to invest in a REIT, the chart matters a lot less. Okay? The technicals matter a lot less because I will assume na you have your particular reasons kung bakit nyo pinasok to in the first place regardless of the chart. Kasi nga, why trade REITs when there are other better/easier trades out there? Yung mas malaki yung potential gains kaysa sa mga REITs. Okay? Sa REIT pa, minsan may hassle na you need to fill out the paperwork and everything to be able to participate. Diba? So, in that view, I will assume na may dahilan bakit nyo pinasok yung MREIT in the first place. So as long as that view holds, as long as it stands true, then again, I will assume na in the long term, walang magbabago sa pananaw nyo. Now, if merong nagbago, let's say na may nasira sa mga expectations nyo, merong hindi natupad, then of course, mag-iiba. Pag nag-iba na, then you need to reconsider, tutuloy nyo pa ba yung paghawak nyo or lalabas na kayo? Okay? But again, I wouldn't trade this ng quick trade lang. Next, tignan po natin yung AP, no? And this will be our last chart for today. So AP, ang nangyari was we pushed higher, okay? Broke up, new 52-week high, pulled back dito sa area of previous resistance. Sakto, di ba? Dito. So resist, naging support. Tried to break higher, nabitin ng konti. We came back down, tagging this area of support again. So what can we possibly view as potential scenarios dito sa AP? If mabasag tong 34, then we might come back to this previous range here between 32 pesos and 34 pesos. That's one thing, no? One thing na kailangan nating ingatan. The other thing is, if mabasag nga yung 34, bumaba siya rito, pati 32 mabasag, then baka balikan natin tong 28.75 and mako-confirm na stuck na naman tayo do sa large previous range prior to breaking out. Now, the bullish scenarios, of course, is if from here mag-hold tayo, we push higher, breaking new highs, breaking above 38.05, then again, bagong 52-week high na naman, and we can expect a decent push higher, hopefully, from there. Again, depending on what the structure looks like, should that particular situation happen. Okay? Isa pang scenario is we might just consolidate within this area muna, take its time, parang yung ginawa niya dito, prior to the market making up its mind on what it wants to do. Okay? So we need to prepare ourselves for those potential scenarios para kung mangyari man yung ayaw natin mangyari, again, handa tayo. So if nakabili kayo nitong AP around this area here, I'm sure in profit na kayo. Congratulations. Be sure to trail your stops lang accordingly, no? Huwag po natin ibalik sa merkado yung karamihan ng kinita natin due to lack of discipline. Alright, sundan lang po natin yung sistema natin. Huwag natin pangunahin yung greed. Let's just obey and follow the parameters that we set out for ourselves. Alright? So guys, dito po nagtatapos yung video natin. I hope kahit papaano ay nakatulong po ito sa inyo and may natutunan kayo kahit konti, no? And if so, I would really appreciate it if you give this video a like and consider subscribing to my channel. And as always guys, maraming salamat po sa panonood. I really appreciate it. Good luck and happy trading!